He was the token black kid for the 90s as a whole. You were in everything.
In Hollywood, when they got that one,
no, they worked you.
They hold on to it, right?
If you weren't available, who else was really gonna do it?
I did feel that at times, right? Soul Food had just come out.
Okay.
So this is like the peak, probably.
Yes.
Then it just was like...
What advice would you give to your younger self?
The younger advice that I would give myself is the advice that Wendell Pierce gave my younger self.
Okay.
Because it holds so true.
Okay.
He said...
Hey everybody, it's Giovonnie Samuels here, coming to you for the Tokens Podcast. Today's conversation is with none other than, I call him a token of the time, Brandon Hammond. Like, when you think 90s black star, young black star at that, you think of him. And we're gonna have a wonderful conversation about his experience of being the token in Hollywood, not just as an actor. This conversation does get a little emotional. So if you hear a little pat on his microphone or whatnot, that's B sharing his love, being vulnerable. As always, I talk a little bit too much with my friends, but we have some amazing bonus footage for you guys. And where can you get that? Our Patreon. And of course, you can see everything at tokenspod.com. Please hit that like button, share, follow, subscribe, all of those things at the Tokens Pod. And of course, you can link up with us at tokenspod.com. Link below. I'm so excited for you all to hear this conversation. So let's go ahead and get started. Here it is. I had a discussion with my production Gio Johnson. Yes, I'm calling you out by name.
Calling out.
Yes, I said, I need B on my show. And he was like, but he's not a token. He's not a token. What are you talking about? He's been on all the black classics. I was like, but think about it in a bigger scope. He was the token black kid for the 90s as a whole. If you think, what's the black kid that was in that one movie, and you immediately see
my face plastered on there.
Yeah. Like, you opened that door for so many of us to see, because I wasn't, when you were working, and I mean working. I wasn't there yet. I was at home. In it yet. No. Yeah. I'm still doing plays in community theaters and, you know, getting to where you were comfortably in for a whole decade.
Wow.
So when I think of a token as somebody that, not in the sense of, yes, you were the only one, but you represented us.
Wow.
In that space. For film and TV shows, your entire career,
Well, sis, I appreciate that, and first of all, you know, it's funny. Shout out to Gio, and shout out. I had agreed with him at first, if you remember, right?
Right.
But you know what? You made me think about something, and what you just said, the macro, right, of it. Maybe not in the specific films I was in, because like you said, I did a lot of the black films. So I wasn't the only or the token of those films, but in Hollywood as a whole,
yes,
you really had me thinking. And
absolutely.
I was like, wow, and I agree. I think
because there was nobody else at that time.
Right. And that's a problem, obviously.
Right.
It's a problem because then you become that, like you say, and of course, obviously, there's so many talented young black actors and actresses. It's a fraternity of a family, so I know how talented, you know, Jermaine Williams is,
right?
You know, and it's Giovonnie Samuels, of course, and I know that there's a lot more of us out there. Of course, it's an honor, and I'm grateful for my career. But like I said, you definitely had me thinking a lot about that whole tokenism thing.
And at that time in the 90s, Black TV, Black cinema, it was a blackety black decade. And if you were anybody in that time, you were something.
Right.
And that was just across the board.
Yeah.
But for kids, what other kids were in the 90s that was at the caliber that you were?
Wow. That's humbling. Honestly, when you say that, it's funny because you think about it. I think about my boy Norman Golden. Shout out to him. You know, Cop and a Half, right? Shout out to him. But then, like you say, it's the fact that it gets difficult to name others. If I asked you to name the dopest or the hottest white child actor of the 90s, you know how easy it is for me to Macaulay Culkin, right? Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Right? But when you get that question you ask,
who else is there?
I'm struggling to do it, right? And it's not because, as I said, there isn't a plethora of talent out there. It's just is what it is. And Hollywood, when they got that one,
they worked you.
Yes, they hold on to it, right? And
because you were in everything. Like, okay, so start from the beginning of your career, because I know we kind of jumped ahead-ish,
right?
But it's still on that path. Like, how did you get started?
Right. So I started off as a background performer. Started when I was 5 years old. I'm originally from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. You know, shout out to my mother. You know, may she rest in peace. Alfreda Williams. She didn't know anything about the industry. I mean, this is before you can YouTube or Google how to be a manager, right? You had to really just learn from books. Yes, there were books out there, ladies and gentlemen. Libraries, believe it or not, there were books out there. Or you had to just trial and error.
Yeah.
Just get into it and make mistakes.
Figure it out as you go.
So I started off as a background performer. I did that for like a year. And then I remember I was discovered on the set of Gabriel's Fire. It was a TV show that James Earl Jones had.
Wow.
Yeah. But get this, Gio, here's the Call of Fame. And it was like, I believe there are no mistakes, right? I think everything happens for a reason, but this is just so crazy how this happened. So as you know, to get into SAG, right, you had to get like what we call vouchers.
Right.
Right. You can't just like, I'm gonna get into the Screen Actors Guild. You had to
prove that you are worthy enough to be in the union.
Right. It's the weirdest thing. And the funny thing is, like, to get those vouchers though, you had to do SAG projects.
Right.
So it's like the chicken or the egg, what comes first?
Right.
You had, in order to get the vouchers, you had to do SAG projects. But in order to do SAG projects, you had to be in the SAG. So they make it difficult. But anyway, I was a background performer on this show, Gabriel's Fire. This kid, he had one line. He didn't show up. So the producers are scrambling for a little black boy who could say one line. And that line was, "She's on drugs." That was the line. Because I was in a foster home. I was one of the kids in the foster home.
Oh.
And this kid had the line. And they asked him about his mom, his like biological mom.
Right.
He's like, "She's on drugs." And he didn't show up. So the producers of this show, they're scrambling for a little black boy that could just say that one line. So of course,
you background actor, right place, right time.
Right time, right? And I say this one line, and that obviously gets me into SAG because, of course,
now it's
they bump you up. They have to.
You got words.
Yep. Now I'm SAG eligible. I can just pay SAG. The rest, as they say, is history. Because then I didn't just immediately start like doing films and TV stuff. I did a lot of commercials. Mm-hmm. First commercial I did was a Chevrolet commercial. I remember doing that, and After that, I did a McDonald's commercials, Apple Jacks commercials, Nike commercial. Like, it was Pringles commercial. And then the first movie I did was Menace to Society. That was the first film I did. I auditioned as Jada Pinkett's son, right? On the little big wheel. But I didn't get it. But the Hughes brothers, Alan and Albert Hughes, they liked me enough and said, you know what? You're not right for Anthony, who was a little boy, but we think you might be right to play young Kane, the young version of the main character in the film. My first role, Gio, I'm cursing, I'm drinking beer, and I'm holding a gun. And I'm 8 years old in a little onesie. And if you remember my line, everybody, I was like, I drink the beer, and I'm like, what the f*** is that? You know, wait, I can curse, right?
Yeah, okay. That's right. You're fine. I'm like, that was your first line?
A first line, like, what the f*** is that? I drink a little beer. It was apple juice, you know, but, so that was my first look, my first thespian, like, pretending that this is beer, malt liquor, but it was apple juice. And then I'm holding the gun, the revolver, and I see my dad, who was played by Samuel L. Jackson. He killed a guy. And I had to like have the little shock face, like, oh my God, you know. So that was my first film. And from that, it just felt like I started booking, you know. And because after that, after Menace, I think it was Waiting to Excel with Angela, play Angela Bassett's son in that. And I was so blessed to play Angela's son not once, but twice. I played her son.
Slight flex. Just
twice.
throwing that out there.
You know,
I played Angela Bassett's son.
Especially with Angela.
Yes.
You gotta flex a little bit. A little bit. So I played her son in a movie called Strange Days as well. And then I did The Fan with Wesley Snipes and Robert De Niro. Wesley Snipes' son, Robert De Niro, kidnapped me. The crazy fan who kidnapped.
That's what I'm saying. These are...
Bruh, it was, honestly, Gio, it was amazing. Like, it felt like, it's one of those things where, you know, in acting, I tell people today, I say, if you want to get into acting, realize that a big part of it is rejection. Right? Because you're not going to book.
You're going to get more no's than anything else.
Yes, right? I'm not going to front. At one point, it felt like I was like going in auditioning and like getting just yeses. Like it felt like I had to run.
So, okay, let me ask you, because you know, at the time, we would go into auditions. And so you see all the other little black kids in the room, and as soon as you walk in the room, they be like, dang, man, why you here? You know he gonna get it.
And it's funny, I did feel that at times, right? I never really competed. Like all of my friends in the industry, I felt like I never went out for the stuff they went out for. I felt like that, right?
What do you mean?
Like, I felt like we were going out for different roles. So it never felt like I was, quote unquote, taking a role from
somebody
that I knew, you know what I mean?
Okay.
It felt like that, you know what I mean? If I did, then I'd be here later like, nah, and you took a couple
like you
of
took, yes.
Like, I did, my bad, bro. I didn't know. I really felt like...
No, because it was like, if you weren't available, who else was really going to do it?
You know, and here's the cold thing, though. And then, so this is, by the way, I'm booking all this stuff with my first agent. And then eventually, you know, like once you start booking and you start getting a little notoriety, a little name in the industry, I then got approached by one of the big three. And
so the big three, the agency.
You already know.
For those of you who don't know, it's...
Let them know. It's a WME now, William Morris.
CAA, and UTA. Those are the top three agencies of all time. If you're one of them, you're like super A-lister situation.
You're pretty much like, you're never going off on the first call. It's always like
they're offering it direct to offer, or do you want to be executive producer of this project? Like they don't.
And it's the thing, man. And you come, it was like, so, because we can get into it, right?
Yes, give me.
So it's like, you hear that, sound dope, but honestly, there's so much politics to that. There's so much packaging. It's so much like, well, because with agencies like that, they want to package all of their clients for a project, right?
Okay.
So it might be something you really want to do, but if they can't package X, Y, and Z with it, then it is what it is, And it's so competitive, but it felt like at the other agency, it just felt different. Like it just was, you go out for what you want to go out for, it didn't feel like this could only happen if this happens, and this can, so it was an experience. I mean, being with, and I was with William Morris of Road Big 3. It was William Morris. But you're right, you're getting offers, you're getting scripts sent to you like, hey, with Brandon, be interested in doing this.
And how old were you when all of this was happening?
I was 13, 14. It was like, after I did and it's so funny because, what was the hardest for me to book though, Gio, as an actor? It was like TV. TV was like where you were like the queen of TV.
Huh?
And
what?
Yes, like doing your thing. Like I was not considered funny. Yes, think about
Okay, okay, no. I got you on this. Okay,
I gotta keep it a buck.
Keep it a buck. Like it very much was. If you were a TV actor, you were a TV actor.
Yes.
If you were a movie actor, you were a movie actor. There was not at that time. You did not really cross the two, and it was harder. I want to say harder for the TV people to jump to the.
Really?
For film.
You think so?
I thought it at that time, it was like if you were a film person and you crossed over to TV, that was looked frowned upon.
Yeah, no, you're right.
So if you were a TV actor,
that's a good point.
You had opportunities to jump to film.
That's a great point.
But you had to like really prove yourself.
No, you did. No, that's
to be able to do both. And luckily I was able to do both.
You were.
But I had to fight for it.
But I mean, for one, obviously supremely talented. Like for me, what I found it difficult, like I think what it was for me was like, it's gonna sound weird, but I feel like maybe I got typecast as like the movie kid, right? Because I'm telling you, and it was disappointing, like I felt I would always get close. And when it comes to these TV shows and like, cause I always wanted to ask you, how many times did you audition like for all that? Was it like, cause I remember when I finally got a TV show, I went on like 5 or 6 callbacks.
Yeah.
Cause like, how big a deal, like network, when they wanna make sure that they make the right choice.
And they have different people. They got their top 3 and they're mixing to see that's like, that is the most aggravating.
It's nerve-wracking, Gio.
Yeah.
Yes.
You audition for a series regular or something.
Pilot season, it.
You audition at least 4, 5, 6 times.
Yes.
And I auditioned for all that 5 times.
I'm not surprised. I always wondered how many times you had to audition for that.
At your show,
It was, so the funny thing, before I finally booked though, imagine always getting close. Mm-hmm. So it was disappointing because I was always getting like so close, but going out on a 4th audition, 5th audition of a show just to be told they went this way. And I felt like they just could not see me as anything but like the movie kid.
Right.
Because you remember too, of course I got the meme out there, the crying face meme from Soul Food, which is the film most people, know my career from. But I cried a lot in films. I was like able to
cry on cue. And that is not an easy skill.
It is not an easy skill, but I felt like they felt like that, like just
was
kind of
too
handicapped me
serious.
as like not funny. Like people only see you as the dramatic actor. So being able to, and let me ask you, do you feel like there is a different, like, I guess, cadence you have when you're doing a TV show? Like, meaning like how you perform, do you feel like it's more
It
bubbly and
depends.
up?
So it depends on if it's a 4-camera sitcom
Good point.
comedy
Yep.
than a single camera comedy. Because you can get away
That's a good point.
with it if it's a multicam.
You're right. That's a great
Because
point.
it's over the top, or
That's a
whatever
good
you
point.
could do.
Yeah.
You could do that.
Good point.
But unless a single camera comedy
Good point.
is over the top, everything else is based in reality.
You're right.
So
Good
it
point.
really depends on
That's a good point.
one,
Yeah.
that, and two, okay, how far can I go
Right.
with it
That's a
in a
good
single
point.
cam?
Good point. So, yes. So because I was going out for a lot of the multicam stuff, that it was just hard to book that. So when I did book a show, it was the Gregory Hines show, right?
Yes.
That show was grounded. I felt
It was
very
it was.
grounded. You
It
know?
had funny moments.
It had funny moments, but
it was very grounded.
Very grounded, you know. So it was a lot like I felt like who I was, like that character. Maddie was, Gregory Hines' son.
How old were you then?
I was 12 when I booked it.
What do you do after that?
There's a lot that happened after that.
Hey, chances are you're listening to this podcast on your phone. And if you're watching it on TV, you probably have your phone in your hand, right? And I'm pretty sure you need a new screen protector. Don't worry, I need one too. That's where today's sponsor, Ultimate Wireless, has you covered. They are the premier nationwide e-commerce superstore for all your electronic accessories like screen protectors, earbuds, podcast gear, and even video game consoles. They'll have you covered for all of your wireless accessory and gaming needs, with everything from phone chargers to Nintendo Switches. And just because you're a listener for the Tokens podcast, Ultimate Wireless is going to give you up to 25% off your next purchase order when you use the code, you guessed it, the Tokens, at checkout. So the next time you're in the market for anything from a power bank to a PlayStation, go check out ultimate-wireless.com. And don't forget to tell them that we sent you by using our code, the Tokens, at checkout for up to 25% off your entire order. Thanks.
What do you do after that?
There's a lot that happened after that I'll share a little bit.
Okay.
But I'm also sharing that to, so because I know we're gonna talk about like what I'm doing now currently. So I want to, you'll know why I can only
he's
say
setting
so
it up.
much.
He's setting it up.
Kind
Okay,
of low
come on,
key,
give it to me.
yeah.
It's all right.
You know.
I love it.
So I can't share everything, but I can say that life happened. And what I mean by that is like, people don't realize sometimes, like, and I think they starting to with people like yourself and what you've been able to do, Gio, and by the way, it's helped me tremendously seeing my friend, someone I love and care about, being able to be so vulnerable and talk about so many things. And I'm talking even like what you was able to do on social media, like during the strike, and talk about that. It helped me to be vulnerable and talk about things that I've been through that a lot of people just don't know. And it's because what was cultivated for me was to not talk about it. Right?
That's usually a Black household. We don't talk about inside, outside.
That too, right. You're right, you know? And then you take the industry we're in and, you know, you got adults who are like, you know, looking out for you, but they're oh, it's in your best interest not to mention that. You know, don't talk about that, right? So it breeds you keeping stuff in. It breeds you like, okay, if this person I trust is telling me not to talk about it, then I get someone else that goes to talk about it. So you don't talk about it for years, right? So, because a lot of people do wonder, right? Because when I did Great Behind Show, y'all just remember Soul Food had just come out too.
Okay.
So this is like the peak, probably, of my career at this point, right? And then it just was like, it just slowed after that. And a lot of people don't know the real reason why, right? But the real reason why was I had some health challenges that a lot of people aren't aware of. And, you know, I'll go into that more kind of like in my story that I tell, like similar to what you've been able to do. And yeah, that is like kind of what happened. And then you fast forward, more of life happened. My mother, she was diagnosed with colon cancer, and she passed. From that was very tough. Anybody that knows me knows how close my mom and I were. We want to talk about momager. She was
that woman.
She was a momager. And I didn't realize, Jill, like, you know what's funny? So I know you talked to our boy Jermaine, right? And he was there when she passed, the day she passed. And I know he remembers this. He picked me up because I got the phone call. And I'm trying not to cry, but I think about it. But I got the phone call, and I hit him up. I hit like we were up, and I was like, bro, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do, man. I was balling. And he's like, man, you gonna keep living, you know? And I remember when he said that, and it meant the world, because I needed to hear that, because you just, like, he knows how close, like, it just felt like everything was, like that one person who, you talk about loving you without condition, like loving you with this, don't care about none of this. Like, if you know, mistakes you make and things that you go through, is like, that's that one constant, right? Like that guaranteed constant. And now that person is gone. It's like, I really did like not know what I was gonna do. Like that question was legit, like, what am I gonna do? And usually people don't have an answer, right? Going through, but he had one. And he's like, you're gonna keep living. Like, you're gonna keep living. And here I am, you know, but so he's just to answer that, you know, that happened. Like, life happened. You know, life happened. And I didn't properly grieve that too, like for like years. I didn't properly grieve that, and also didn't properly deal with, I think about where we are now in like the world, like, you know, as far as being open to being vulnerable and to people's struggles and to life happening. Like life be lifing, right?
Yes.
And people are so much more welcoming and embracing of that. And I just wish I had like a crystal ball then to realize that if I was more open to say to these people, like, no, I want to talk about it, you know? I feel like I would have been embraced more. Because it would have been like the little boy from Soul Food. For a lot of people,
like everybody calls you. You are TV son. You're my TV brother. Like
would have like hugged me. You know what I'm saying?
But do you think? Because you know, I've said this before. We're kind of the last generation of young actors to know what it's like before and after social media. So, of course, at the time, we didn't have it. We didn't know that was welcomed even from our fans.
Right.
And now we're getting this. So how do you feel about that when so many people are giving you your flowers and telling you like, no, I saw myself in you? How do you handle that now? Or I guess, before and after social media answer?
Great question. So I handle it as humbling, and it's also something that I can be honest, is not the easiest to hear it. And what I mean by that is because it's so like...
It's overwhelming in a good way.
Yes. Try to follow me with this. Like Andre 3000.
Okay.
Right? When he came up with his Flute album.
Right.
He talked about fame. Mm-hmm. And he talked about how it's not normal to be that famous. Like to be like so famous where you can't go to like a laundromat without people like, right? And he was talking about how abnormal that is, right? So I'm not nearly as famous as him, but at the
time you were.
Oh.
Okay. Accept that. But carry on.
You said.
Carry on.
Oh. So when I hear people, and I've seen it happen with you. It was at like a Comic-Con where they're like, you were my childhood.
Yeah.
And people are crying. And they're crying, meeting us. That is overwhelming in a good way.
Right.
But it's like...
It's still a lot.
Yes.
And how do you feel receiving that? Do you think you would have been able to handle that when you were a kid compared to now? Because, even as adults, it's a lot to take on.
Right.
And you appreciate it, but it's still a whole lot.
It's a whole lot. I would say I wouldn't be able to handle it the way I do now, because we're handling it now in our adult lens, with our maturity and having seen things and stuff like that. But as a kid, I don't think we would have appreciated it the way we do now, right? It wouldn't have resonated quite the way it does now. So yeah, I don't think I would have received it quite the way I'm receiving it now. Because that's the beauty, right? There's a lot of, obviously, cons and negative sides to social media, but one of the positives is reintroducing ourselves to a whole new generation of people, and or reminding our generation of what we were and what that time was for them. And it's a beautiful thing, So when, I'm getting Shade Room hitting me up like, hey, I want to do a Where You At Now feature, Brandon Down. And I'm getting, people want to do interviews, and it's dope, right? It's kind of cool. And the same when I'm able to see, interviews you're doing, I'm like, yes. Like she's been this dope, right? They've been this dope. I'm just glad.
I guess I didn't.
People are saying it.
And again, this is us. We didn't notice how big or important it was because we were just in our own little bubble.
We was just in our bubble.
We didn't know like, hey, this is playing in Hong Kong right now.
Right.
Or hey, this is, Viva la Brazil. Like I got mad fans in Brazil. It's you don't know.
I was at the Tupac exhibit in LA when they had the Wake Me When I'm Free, exhibit. Amazing. It was amazing museum that they have, Tupac. And I met someone from South Africa who told me how big of a deal Soul Food and Space Jam were for him in South Africa. And he knew what was. And he's like, bro, they would have movie night out there where they would watch like American films. And he said Soul Food and Space Jam were like two of the biggest films for them. So when he meets me and he's saying this, And I'm like, wait, my reach is
that massive? Yeah.
like you said, it
doesn't click.
It does
click. Not. Like I had a girl say, I learned how to speak English by watching you. And I was in Senegal. Like out Singapore. Sorry, she was in Singapore.
That's life altering. Like to hear that.
You don't know.
I learned how to speak English because of you. That's like
that. I'm so thankful, but it's like I had no idea, and that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to do this show was to give people like you this opportunity and chance to receive these flowers because you had a big impact on me.
Thank you.
And now to call you like fam and bro after how long have we known each other?
Oh my gosh. I mean, so obviously since we were kids, right?
Yeah.
And you think about that. I think about that. I think about people like yourself. I think about people like Gary, people like Jermaine, Percy Daggs, shout out to Percy.
WB Alexander.
WB Alexander.
You
Yes, man. And you think about it, I was like, you don't get friendships like that.
Right.
I'm talking about that going to the decades, Gio.
It's very
You gotta hold on to them for dear life. So like when you call me, bro, hey, I need, yes. Like unless I'm just doing something but yes, of course, what you need. Remember we was on the phone, and you like, look, if I got a place, I'll try to, I got you. And we was thinking about, hey, why don't you hit up so-and-so? And that's how we do. You are family, and because it's like watching you, we don't realize too, like how, like say we inspire each other. You know what I mean? Like, and that's how it's supposed to be, right? When it's
iron sharpening iron.
Yes. Say that again, please.
Iron sharpens iron.
Again, yes. You want to stay on your toes and P's and Q's. Like, you got me like, yo, I want to get my podcasting up. And like when I'm seeing
I'll be a guest on your podcast easily, B.
Wow, like, look, easily, I don't know about all that now. Look, you see how you say easily. like easily.
So,
but
you take this break.
Yeah, take the break.
And you come back. And what do you do?
So I said...
Was that Blue Street? Not...
Blue Hill.
Blue Hill.
You got it, look, you knew Blue something.
Blue. It was Blue who? But yes, Blue Hill.
Yes, so, and man, you know what? I love Blue Hill because it was one of those, like, believe it or not, you ever like marvel at some of the things people like do remember you for? Like, so for instance, most times if someone sees you or knows you, you're thinking they're gonna say from all that, right?
Right.
Or for me, I'm thinking they're gonna say soul food.
Right.
So, but when I hear people say, I go, they'll be like, man, where I know you from, right? And I'll go, soul food, right? They're like, yeah, but I'm thinking, no, you was like that gangster movie. And I'm like, Blue Hill? They're like, bro, yes, that's my joint.
Yes,
I'm like, wait, that's the film where you like are geeking out about? It's like, yeah, man, that's mine.
You just never know.
You just never know. And that's where I met WB and Percy, and those were, again, like lifelong friendships, I was 15, 16 when I did that film. And I just turned 40. Just turned 40, y'all. I hope y'all thinking black ain't cracking too bad. But I'm like, just turned 40, and they're still two of my closest friends. So that's, and we, like I said, we've known each other since we were kids. I want to say, was it before we were teenagers, or were we like
at teenage? Yeah,
like 13, 14, 15, 16?
15, 16. Yeah.
So you think like, so that's we're looking at, I mean, like 16, 14
years.
24 years. We're talking decades.
But okay, so for those, do you feel like this being a child actor is like a fraternity? Yes. Because I know Keke Palmer has said this. Nobody understands another child star like another child star.
Absolutely.
Which is true. But I think nobody understands a black child star like another black child star.
Big facts. it's how you say it's levels to this?
Yes.
It's levels to this, right? Give you like for example. So actually I never met your boy and your co-star Brian. Right? And it's so funny, I just was like just looking at y'all Instagram and seeing how y'all hanging out and the lovely video y'all did
Twin.
where have you with Gio as well. Y'all
Yes.
just are a fool.
But those two are my bros.
And it's clear, right? Love it. And I just liked the post or whatever it's at. And then he follows me. And I followed him back. And it was one of those just like, what up, bro? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know him, but like I know him.
That's how
You know what I'm
that's how it
saying?
is. It's
Yes.
like you still, I may not know you. You may be an upperclassman or whatever the case may be, but I see you.
But I see you.
It's that. It's
I
that.
see you.
It's the nod.
It's the nod.
It's like an
When you at a
industry
grocery
nod.
store,
right?
yeah.
You like, okay,
Yeah.
hey.
I see you. Exactly.
It's the same thing. There are so many other Black star actors or people of color. Like you don't really cross paths, but I got you and I see you. It's an unspoken rule with all of us.
It's an unspoken rule, man. I didn't even realize when talking about this the lives you touch and the impact. You know, Cleo Thomas, the actor, right?
Another person that I don't think I've actually met and come across, but I see you, I know you, I love you.
Yes, I never met him, right? But it was the Shade Room feature they did on me, right? And they posted it. I see his comment, and he said, "Wow, he's the reason why I started acting." I was blown away. I'm just like, wait, what? Like,
how does that make you feel?
That's
so. Let's take it a step further. Okay, what advice would you give to your younger self or anybody that's coming up in this industry?
That's my younger self.
Yeah.
You know what? I got it. The younger advice that I would give myself is the advice that Wendell Pierce gave my younger self.
Okay.
Because it holds so true.
Okay.
He said, if you remember nothing else, Brandon, remember two things.
Okay.
It's all about the work that you do and the people that you meet.
There it is.
And Gio, when I say how that stays, like it is so true, it's about the work that we've done and the people that we met. And like this is evidence of that. And I feel like I quite answer your question, but when you talk about what did I do after that break, but now a lot of my focus did shift to behind the scenes, writing, directing, creating, mentoring. One of the greatest gifts you can give is the gift of mentorship. And I have two unbelievable mentees. You know, shout out to Rayal and Jada. Unbelievable. Two young ladies. They're actresses, filmmakers, models, like just Renaissance women. Just amazing, like honestly. And I mentor them along with my lady Genesis. I gotta shout Genesis out.
Hey girl.
Hey. Amazing, you know, but I do that and this is mentorship too, like us being able to like speak on our experiences.
Yeah.
And I try to be there for my friends and you know, when they call and say, hey, I need you for something and I can be there, you know, I want to be there. But the advice is, it's all about the work that you do, the people that you meet, be true to yourself.
That authenticity here again.
To be authentic, like honestly, because when everything else goes away, that will always remain.
Yeah.
My true authentic self is enough. Because I struggle with that. And I struggle with that today. If I'm being honest with you, talk about being vulnerable. Just believing that you and people that are like my friends and my family, that you're enough to be
Yeah. You don't have to.
proving
Yeah.
myself to y'all. I struggle with that. It's something that I struggle with is like believing. I used to ask family, I used to always ask, "Hey, are you my friend?" I used to always ask that as a little kid. I used to say, are you my friend? And I realized that, like, as I struggle with, like, I feel like I'm on like a probationary period with people in life. Like that if I make a mistake that, y'all won't fuck with me no more. And so I deal with that.
Never.
Yeah, I deal with that. But I'm learning that I'm enough, that who I am as a person, I'm enough, So that's something that I would tell my younger self, and I would tell someone else, and to like these young actors that want to come up and parents that want to get their kid in the business. Don't be like, there's a lot of these exposés that come out and they're afraid, right?
Right.
Just like with anything, like it can be a beautiful thing,
It
but
can
just
be.
like Gio,
Do
with
your
anything,
homework. Get in there.
Yes.
Learn the job.
Say
Learn
that.
the craft. Like, respect the craft.
That-
Don't just do this for the
That.
fame of it. Like,
say respect. It's to respect the craft.
put some respect on my
There
craft.
you go. Remember, respect on my craft. Don't let if you're just doing this to get rich quick and
Just to be famous.
just to be famous, like it can be a beautiful thing, and it's a job. And make sure it's something. I think I've heard you give this advice before, but make sure it's something that they want to do.
Yes.
That is so important. G. Make sure it's something that
They want to do,
Yeah.
not you
Right.
want to do for
make sure
them.
that they're pushing it, not
Because
you.
you're going to
Yes.
destroy that little person. Period. Like, no more.
Big facts.
Don't do it.
Facts. So silly. So silly. You such a dope host, by the way.
Oh,
Like you make it comfortable too, and he's good. Y'all got a good thing going here.
but thank you again, B,
Of
for
course.
coming on. I cannot.
Sis, I got you.
Man, stop.
We
This
know
is
it's love.
family. All love here. All love. Okay, so plug your socials. Where can people find you? What you doing next or now? Like, shout it all out.
Social, and I'm inconsistent, but I am on there. I need to get better, G. Help your brother out.
You post like once a month.
Right, yeah.
So if you don't see a lot of activity, it's probably him.
Yes. But B as in Brandon, L _ Ham, HAMM. That's on Instagram at BL _ Ham. On Facebook, Brandon Hammond. Twitter, is it X?
Yeah, X, Twitter,
I'm not
whatever.
really on there. But if I have an account of B _ Ham, I'm really not on there. But if you want to, And what I'm doing next, I'm actually directing a documentary, a reunion, soulful reunion.
What?
Documentary. Give you that little, y'all man, you heard it here? Yes.
I'm getting all the tea from my friend.
Lyrical
Yes.
producing it. George
Tell Auntie
Tillerman.
B I say
I
hey.
got
Shout out to
you.
her because
Yes.
we played on Mr. Box Office together.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit her up tonight. Like literally.
Tonight. And be like, hey,
guess who I was
girl.
with? Yep.
Hey, Auntie.
We're gonna take a picture. I'm gonna send it to her. And
Please.
I'm gonna
Yes.
say,
Okay.
Yeah. She'll probably react to it before we done. But she EP'ing it along with George Tillman, who wrote and directed the film, and Bob Title, who produced the film Soulful. They're all in. The cast is all in. So I'm excited for that. We actually been filming stuff. I went and visited Irma P. Hall, Big Mama.
Right.
She's 88 and just as lovely as ever. She's in Texas, living with her daughter. So we went out there and shot some stuff. And so that's like the big thing that I'm doing. I can't wait.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah, that's gonna be amazing. That's gonna be amazing. So that's the like big thing that I'm doing right now. And Genesis is producing that
Yes.
as well. Along with Victorious DaCosta, I gotta shout him out because he was the producer of an amazing documentary on HBO Max, or it's called Max, but it's called Storm Over Brooklyn.
Okay.
And it's about the murder of Yusuf Hawkins.
Okay.
So check that out. And he produced that. He also directed Get to the Bag, the Jackie Robinson documentary for FS1. So I needed someone who, they know their way around a documentary.
Right. You got some heavy hitters
got some heavy
here.
hitters there, man. So
just like you said, anything you need, it's the same way. Anything you need from me, I got you.
I love you, man.
I love you too. Thank you so much again. I cannot, this is a dream come true. Yeah, I'm so excited.
It's amazing.